never speak bad about you. I will never speak bad about you. So I'm like, you just threatened, like, are you having a psychotic break in front
No,
of
it's
me?
a mind fuck. And I've had somebody do that to me too. And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
don't do me any favors. If you
Right.
talk shit, talk shit. Because to me, when people say that, like, oh, because of our history, I'll never say anything about you. Or my old radio host, Kane, that, I've talked about how crazy and toxic that situation was. Something, our other competing radio show had been canceled that I was on. And he texted me some veiled thing like that, like, oh, I didn't like go in hard on you guys getting canceled because of our past. And it's like, we're not friends. Like, don't do me any. That's also such a veiled threat. Like what? Ooh, you could have said something like really bad. We're adults here, okay? I'm not fucking 10. If you wanna, and she's doing that because and Kane did the same thing. They don't want to put your name in their mouths publicly because it's going to give you a ton more press. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's just a veiled threat of I'm not going to give you any more, press, by the way. That's just what that's all about. So
It's like, you're not going to talk about me anyway. And then, so
because
then
if she dropped your name on another podcast, like we can only hope. Like, great. Terrific. What
Melissa
publicity.
did it, and my ratings went through the roof after Melissa did that. So she kept saying this, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, of course, for history, I'll like never talk bad about you either. And then I'm like, but wait, I mean, I did accuse you of like calling the police to my house. And then she's like, that's right. And then she's talking to a stranger. I really think she had a psychotic break. She's talking to a stranger standing next to me. Can you believe this guy? He accused me of calling the police. Do you remember that episode, Sarah? So now she's talking to us. Like, I really think she's so bothered by me. Kim is like, wow, we really affect this woman. It's actually a compliment. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. If you were trying to threaten me, you did just the opposite. I ain't going to lay off you. B, I did spend the whole season saying you were going to be fired. C, you're not bigger than Bravo, Andy Cohen, or producers. If they did it to Dorinda, and they did it to Rinda, and they did it to Rinna, and they did it to Vicky, and they did it to all the greats. Girl, they did it to Nene. They did it. When you're taken out hard. Girl, there will be a Marge takedown season. You keep telling yourself, I understand. If you said I was going to get fired all season and I didn't, I would come right into your face and gloat too. I give her that. But girl, if you think the Marge will never be off Real Housewives of New York and you'll have to go earn your living the regular way, even though you're getting sued every day, you are sadly mistaken. Your day will come. And when it does, you will have nothing but a pot to piss in. So if she thinks that,
Wow.
if she
God,
thinks that getting in my face scares me, Margaret, there's nothing. If anyone wants to find something from my past, bring it up. I admit it. I will. Let's admit it all day long. That's why people listen to us. That is why, because with all the bullshit and hypocrisy that exists on these shows these days and all the false bullshit, we just let our shit hang out, Sarah. We just let our shit hang
True.
out. And she also threatened Kim D with what she knows about her. Now, I've spoken to Kim about this, and I'm not getting into it. But if you don't think Kim don't really play with the big boys, I'm staying out of this. But Kim has got some things in motion too.
Scary. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I would not fuck with DMD.
So this is like, no, I mean,
don't know.
I
All
wouldn't
those
either.
Jersey women they probably all know the same character, so they all probably are well aware. But
And by the way, then she walks away, and the guy I was talking to, who is this cute guy that Jill Zarin is amazing. I said that I think this one guy is cute. And Jill's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then like an hour later, I was passing by Jill. She's like, David, come here, meet someone. Jill's great. She like made this whole thing that I was talking to this guy. I'm like, he is fucking cute. He doesn't know a housewife from a 90-day fiance. That's why I like him. And then when he walks away, I was like, remember when I told you, when you asked me, like when I said there were people here that hate me and I pointed to the blonde woman? I mean, you literally were just standing next to me while this interaction happened. Do you understand now? Like, was I just threatened? And he's like, that was literally the most bizarre display of human interaction by this woman that I've ever seen. I'm like, I just want to like check myself because I am going to go on air and talk about this. Like, maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm like, was that not really strange? And they're like, no, that woman literally seems like she belongs in a psychiatric hospital. I'm like, I just want to check before I tell Sarah Fraser and all the listeners, maybe I'm overreacting. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. He's like, this isn't a reality show. I'm like, no, it's not. This is real life. There you go.
David, that's a story. How come cameras weren't up for that?
I mean,
That would have been
there.
so classic, so epic.
I'm just telling you, which has nothing to do with. It's not nothing to do with the party. This is completely unrelated. We were, it was the next time I ran into Margaret. This was bound to happen wherever it was. So, this distancing this from.
I feel like that was just the beginning, the middle, and we haven't heard the end. I feel like we're gonna get another chapter of this though.
We're gonna run into each other again. I mean, I ain't scared of this bitch. There you go. What do you want to talk? I mean, talking about drama.
From there. Okay, where do we go?
Well, I was gonna say Shannon Bedore in the bar. I mean, that sounds just.
Yeah, out here in California, just down the street here in Orange County, apparently Shannon Bedore, according to the New York Post, yelled at, oh God, I always forget.
John Jansen's daughter, she's not dating him anymore, but apparently are now friends, I guess, in whatever strange world that is, even though they weren't. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, again, it just goes back to like, this is like real life, right? Like, this is like really what these people are like. Like, we don't know why, but all the reports are basically saying like, she just was intoxicated and started yelling at the daughter, like, which makes it even worse. Like, it's not like the guy did something. It's just like, what happened, Shannon? I mean, can you see Shannon being totally unhinged? Yeah. No.
Apparently she was hammered, according to witnesses. She had to be held back and removed by security. Now, this actually happened at the Tiki Bar because a lot of people were like, did this happen at the Quiet Woman? It did not. And they say that, there are photos circulating of staff in the bar taking Shannon out of the venue. The source further said that John and his family remained calm and collected, as this might be a regular Tuesday for them. Nobody knows what broke the argument out, though. They said that multiple people were screaming at each other, including Shannon. That said, it wasn't just Shannon that got the boot. The entire group was asked to leave because the night was done and the lights were on. And honey, no one wants to be there when the lights come on. So, I think there's still like a lot of holes in this story. Was like the Tiki Bar closing and it was last call and they were kicked out. Sounds like they were super hammered. Was Shannon... What was the cause of Shannon supposedly yelling at John's daughter? I mean, we don't know like a lot of the details, except for I think the ones that are believable are probably Shannon was hammered and they were all kicked out.
I mean, it just goes back to like, I don't know. Look, I'm not criticizing anyone. A lot of people listening to this are probably like, that sounds great. I just say, who wants to be friends with people like this in the real world? That's really, I'm not criticizing. It's just, for me, it's not my scene. It's just not, it's so much toxicity. It's real life. I get it. I understand taking your $900,000